Okay. Oh, okay. Sorry. Okay. All right. Salakia. Shalom, Israel. This is Priest and Officer Pariah Allah from the ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana. I'm out here in Connecticut. And today's topic, as we all know, who our oppressor is. And, you know, throughout history and time, you know, our oppressor has been nothing but being bastards to our people. And when I say oppressor, I'm talking about the so-called white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of. You know, their nation, their people have been a thorn in our sides since we've been put under the foot of them by the Lord. Now, given that our ancestors have disobeyed the Most High, and we've been put in this position because of our ancestors, they have took it to numerous levels of keeping us enslaved. Now, I came across this article actually today, and this happened over the weekend out here in Stamford, Connecticut, where it was a similar incident that took place, like in Central Park, and where they had this red dog calling the police and making a false claim on this brother in Central Park. That was, I believe, the brother was dog walking, or he was doing something with the animals, or bird watching. I know it was something different, but you know that a similar incident happened in Stamford, Connecticut. Now I'm gonna read it. It said a white man called police on black and Hispanic men at Marina in Connecticut. Hold on 1 second. Do me a favor. Close the door. Close the door. Thank you. I'm going to read the title again. It said, white man called police on black and Hispanic men at Marina in Connecticut. Stamford, Connecticut. A video showing a white man calling the police on a group of black and Hispanic men in Connecticut has prompted a police investigation. And this is drawing comparison to a similar incident in New York's Central Park last month. Stamford police identified the white man as a city resident, Stephen Dudek, 57 years old. He is seen on the video at the marina at Cove Island Park last Saturday, telling police in a phone call the group is harassing him, saying white lives matter too, and telling the other men his name is God. The group also alleged Dudek he sprayed an irritating chemical at them. What happened to us is a perfect example of this man weaponizing the police department, and as a black man who grew up in America, this happens far too often. A member of the group, Trey Frazier, 24, of Stanford, said at a news conference Thursday. A phone message seeking comment was left at Dudek's business Friday, and no one answered a home phone listing for him. Darnell Crossland, a lawyer for the 5 men who were confronted by Dudek, called on police to charge Dudek with assault, intimidation based on bigotry, and making a false report of harassment. Crossland said the Stanford incident reminded him of the May 25th instance of racism in New York Central Park, in which a white woman, Amy Cooper, called police to report she was being threatened by an African American man. Excuse me. Christian Cooper, no relation, after he told her to leash her dog. The encounter also was captured on a widely watched video and led to Amy Cooper getting fired from her job. There were no arrests, and Amy Cooper apologized. What this gentleman knew was that he can weaponize the 911 system, just like the lady in Central Park did. And so he doesn't have to pull a gun anymore, Crossland said, because of the system that is built on racism and prejudice. He was able to just call 911. Frazier, his cousin, and 3 friends, including a Bridgeport police officer, hauled a boat on a trailer to the park Saturday during a weekend get-together. Dudick told them they did not have permission to launch their boat at the Cove Park Marina ramp because they did not have a slip there like he did. Excuse me. The video posted on social media shows Dudick appearing to call the police and report, "I'm being harassed by a bunch of black men down here." A bystander photo, but not the video, shows Dudick pointing some kind of spray can at the group. So when you hear the white man's the goddamn devil that the Bible speaks of, it's not because of his color, because of his skin complexion. No, that's not why we say that. We say that because he's a deceiver. He's a devil. That's what devil means. It's not because he's his skin complexion. It's because of the content of character. Understand that, this has been an ongoing thing. When you look at Emmett Till, when you look at all these other brothers and sisters that have been falsely accused of either physically or verbally abusing these so-called devils out here, and this is the end result. But see, what that devil did actually backfired on him, because thanks to social media and and let me tell you, in the wake of what's going on right now is why that was even looked at, because a lot of times prior to this, a lot of incidences like this was being overlooked. A lot of incidences like this was, pushed to the side and was just swept under the rug. Why? Because, regardless of what you think, and if you feel like, oh, white people, they got good white people out there, they very well might be. So you think. But deep down inside, it's in them. It's embedded in them. It's in their spirit to hate every black, Hispanic, and Native Indian out there. Understand that they don't have no love. If you're not of them, they don't give a damn about you. And as soon as we can get this through our heads, the better it'll be. The better this world will be. But the problem with a lot of our people is because we have the Stockholm Syndrome. That's something that we always talk about. Stockholm Syndrome. That's the, as they would say, the battered woman syndrome, or the, what do you call it? The loving your oppressor, That's the battered woman syndrome. Loving your oppressor, somebody that's oppressing you. That goes with that old saying that they say, if you can't beat them, join them. which to me that's weak. Because anybody, you want to have pride, you want to live an honorable life, you know. Living an honorable life is coming back, following these laws, statutes, and commandments that the Most High set out for us. Living an honorable life is living your life according to these scriptures. Now I'm gonna get into some scriptures. I'm gonna get into the 12th chapter of Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha. And okay, I'm gonna start at the first verse. It says, "When wilt thou do good? No, when thou wilt do good, know to whom thou doest." Understand that when you're doing good for somebody and you're going all out for them, know who you're doing that with. Because that goes with the precept of, you know, you have to prove a friend. You just don't meet somebody and just take them in, especially of another nationality. Anybody, but especially of another nationality, know who you rolling with, you know. So shall thou be thanked for thy benefits. So understand that it will be genuinely appreciated. Excuse me. Verse 2. Do good to the godly man, and thou shalt find a recompense. And if not from him, yet from the Most High. Understand, you do good. You know, when you do good, you know, when you know better, you do better. You know, when you do good, you're gonna live good. Everything with you is gonna have integrity behind it. You're gonna show your true character. You're gonna show the integrity that you got when you do good. When you follow these laws, statutes, and commandments, you can never go wrong. You know. I'm gonna read verse 2 again. Do good to the godly man, and thou shalt find a recompense. And if not from him, yet from the Most High. And if the godly man don't do that, the Most High is going to bless you. Understand that when you do good, the Most High sees, excuse me, the Most High sees all things. Understand that. So when you do good, you don't look for other people for recognition. You know, especially not from no heathen. You know, the Most High sees your works, everything you do. Understand that you're not doing anything on the face of this earth that's not being seen. Understand that. Verse 3. There can no good come to him that is always occupied in evil, nor to him that giveth no alms. There can no good come to him that is always occupied in evil. Who's always occupied in evil? The white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of, the so-called white man, this red bastard that's oppressing us, our oppressor. Understand that everything with them is evil. You look at what he's done to the North American Indians. You've seen what he's done to all across through the Caribbean, through the Spanish countries, South America, Mexico. You see the evil that this so-called white man, these heathens, have done to our people. Today, with the ICE putting our brothers, Issacharite brothers, family members, kids, women, elderly and young, and men, all up in these concentration camps. You know, the evil that they've doing to the brothers and sisters in America. Evil occupies this our oppressor. Understand that there's no love. If you're not of him, he don't give a damn about you. And this is something that we need to get in our head. That is no... Look, you can't get love for somebody that don't love nobody but their own people. And that's the level we need to be on. We can't show nobody love. We have to find love within our own nation. Understand that. Because the brothers and sisters of ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana is all love. It's brotherhood, sisterhood, all across the board. But if you're not in here, and you're out there, and you're not within this brotherhood and sisterhood, understand that I'm not saying that they don't have brothers and sisters that's out there that wholeheartedly got love for one another, but it's a jungle out there. Understand that. It's a jungle out there for our people to create that. Why? Because it leads back to all these it leads back to the Christian church. It leads back to Islam and all these other doctrines that our people tend to follow that don't have anything to do with us. Because you could go all through Islam, there's no brotherhood and sisterhood in there. You go all through the Christian church, there's no brotherhood and sisterhood in there. You know? Their brotherhood and sisterhood is on the level of drug dealers out there cutting each other's throats. That's the level. It's equivalent to that. ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana is complete, 100% uncut, straight up brotherhood and sisterhood. Understand that. Now I'm gonna get into verse 4. Give to the godly man and help not a sinner. Understand that you sit there, you want to give to somebody that's following these laws, statutes, and commandments. Somebody that is living these scriptures. You give to him. Don't sit there and give to sinners. Don't sit there and funnel your money. Let me tell you something. If you're black, Hispanic, a native Indian, you're from the 12 tribes. You look on the 12 tribe chart and you're of that, you should be sending money into ISUPK. Donations, tithes, and help build this nation. Because you're going to see your money work. You're going to see your money grow within the nation. And when I say grow, meaning schools built, businesses built, communities built. Understand that instead of giving your money, as a matter of fact, no black and Hispanic, a native Indian should be giving anything to these Christian churches out there and all these other organizations out there that's not doing right by our people. Understand that, because those are sinners. You're going each one of those organizations that I listed, the Christian church, you're going to Islam, you're going to Buddhism and anything else that us as our people tend to stray off to. Understand that they're not doing nothing for you but creating more sin and bringing you more closer to death. Understand that these scriptures here, ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana, is looking to revive you, looking to give you life through these scriptures, spiritually, physically, mentally. We're here to bring you back to the Lord, to the Most High, the way you're supposed to be brought back to Him, and not through greed and filth. Salakia, sidebar for a minute. But give. I'm gonna read verse. Verse 4 again. Give to the godly man and help not a sinner. Yeah, don't help all these other Black Lives Matter, all these other groups out there that's not doing for our people. Because understand that Black Lives Matter is based on the LGBTQ community. that have nothing to do with black people. If you read up on it and do your reading, talking about. But say, give to the godly man and help not. Our oppressors is sinners. You go to anything dealing with them, they're cutting your throat. You're in the back burner. You're like a carpet. They just walk all over you. They're gonna team up against you. You sit there and try to. You want to rub elbows with them and be up under them. Newsflash: they don't want you up under them. They want your money. They'll take your money, but that's all they want. They don't want you. And they're rightfully so. They should feel like that. Just like you should feel like you shouldn't have to be around them unless it's pertaining to business. Understand that. Verse 5. Do well unto him that is lowly, but give not to the ungodly. Who's the ungodly? The so-called white man. The devil that the Bible speaks of. Hold back thy bread, and give it not unto him, lest he overmaster thee thereby. For else thou shalt receive twice as much evil for all the good thou shalt have done unto him. Understand, if you don't have to deal with them, you stay far away from them. And that's the bottom line. Business only. Don't intermingle. Don't try to socialize. Nothing. There's nothing in common there. You know? Verse 6. For the Most High hated sinners and will repay vengeance unto the ungodly. The Most High is going to pay this bastard. All these heathens, especially Esau, the white man, the damn devil that the Bible speaks of, and keepeth them against the mighty day of their punishment. Oh, understand that they're gonna get what's coming to them. For what happened to George Floyd, and way before that, all the other ones, even the ones we don't even know about, up to today, up to all these acts of falsely accusing. And it's a long string. It's not even a laundry list. It's a list that probably could wrap around the world quite a few times of all the false accusations that's been done against every black, Hispanic, and Native Indian that have ever walked on the face of this earth. Understand that. You know? And keepeth them against the mighty day of their punishment. Verse 7. Give unto the good, and help not a sinner. Verse 8. A friend cannot be known in prosperity, and an enemy cannot be hidden in adversity. Understand that a friend cannot be known in prosperity, and an enemy cannot be hidden in adversity. Let me tell you something. When stuff is going on, prime example, with all this going on, everybody that got white friends, or let's take it even a step further, every black, Hispanic, or Native Indian that's in an interracial relationship with a so-called white man or white woman, understand that in light of, okay, I'm going to use George Floyd because that's like one of the most recent ones. No, actually it's not, but the more high-profiled one, other than that brother that was killed in Atlanta, Rashard Brooks. Understand that you're going to see their true colors when you have a conversation on systematic racism. When you sit there and you see things that's going on to your people, you're going to see their true colors. You're going to see who they really are, if they really for you or not. And understand that a lot of y'all already know that that red dog man or woman that you're married to, you already know how they are, because they're already going to show signs, but more so than ever. And I guarantee you, there's going to be a high divorce rate. There's going to be a high domestic violence rate amongst interracial couples. As time goes on, you're going to see. Because the beautiful thing is the Most High is shaking this whole kingdom up. He's taking it down slowly but surely. You know what I mean? Excuse me. Let me see. Verse 9. In the prosperity of a man's enemies will be grieved, but in his adversity even a friend will depart. You know? Yo, let me tell you something. There's some big hating. Let me tell you something. It's in their spirit, you know? They will, in the prosperity of a man's enemies, will be grieved. Understand that this so-called white man, he hates every black, Hispanic, and Native Indian with a passion. But in his adversity, even a friend will be depart. Like I said, you're going to see a high rate in the stats. I'm going to check the stats. I'm going to give it about a month, maybe 2 months. I'm going to check the stats on interracial divorces within the past few months. And it's probably at a high. It probably went up. It probably spiked. You know, it had to have went up. And if not, then that black married to that devil is beyond a trade. I mean, they already started off marrying that demon. They're already a traitor. But if they ain't open their eyes and see that, and if they side with their other half, understand that they beyond. They're like that sister Candace Owens. That hatred towards her people. That hatred that they have, because if memory served me right, I think it was mentioned that she's married to a dog, a red devil, you know, a devil dog, you know. Understand that through adversity, they're gonna leave. It's Splitsville, you know. All those white friends that you think that's cool, and oh, Bobby and Billy, oh no, they real cool. They like me, you know. No, they don't. They never did. They tolerated you. That's about it. Ain't no genuine love there. Understand that. You know? And the true test is when racial issues happen in the media. How they respond to that. A lot of times, 9 times out of 10, they probably quiet. They're not saying nothing. Because they know. You know? But I'm going to go into verse 10. Never trust thine enemies, for like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness. Never trust your enemy. Who's your enemy? Our oppressor, the so-called white man. Why? Because of his perpetual hatred towards us. Why? Because we're the chosen one. Every black, Hispanic, and Native Indian is promised the kingdom, you know? Is of a seed that he hates. You know? Verse 11. Though he humbled himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou had wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust had not been altogether wiped away. Understand that they can sit there and mask and act like they care and, sit with protests, sing all that kumbaya nonsense. But at the end of the day, they don't give a damn about you. They don't. See, with them, there's always an agenda. There's always an agenda. Because why? Like in the scripture I'm going to get in a little later, like in Exodus, they deal with us wisely. Understand that. Why? Because they know. They have to deal with us wisely, you know? But understand that they rust, their ways, they can sit there and act like they're all dusted off, but that negative, they know how to mask, and they know how to portray themselves to be one way, knowing that they're not that way. Understand that. Let me get verse 12. Set him not by thee, lest when he hath overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou at the last remember my words. I'm going to read that again. And thou at the last remember my words, and be pricked therewith. Verse 13. Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as coming nigh wild beast? So one that goeth to a sinner, and is defiled with him in his sins, who will pity? I'm going to read that again. So one that goeth to a sinner, and is defiled with him in his sins, who will pity? For a while he will abide with thee, but if thou begin to fall, he will not tarry. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit. Understand that. And that's heavy. I'm going to read that again. Verse 16. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips. Once again, who speaks sweetly with his lips? So-called white man. He'll sit there and he's about the most slickest, slitheriest serpent out here on the face of this earth. Back then to now. They will sit there and they're about the most conniving, evilest, slick talking bastards out there, devils that the Bible speaks of out there. I'm going to read 16 again. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit. He's calculating. When they talking and he's smiling, he's looking at, oh, Jamal, yeah, hey, Jamal's talking. He's thinking 50 million ways of slitting your throat and without getting caught. 50 million ways of hanging you. 50 million ways to get you off the face of this earth while smiling in your face. That's the so-called white man out there. Understand that. He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. He's not going to be satisfied with blood. What happened out there? Native Indians. When you see the killings out there on the streets, you see the George Floyd incidents, you see the Rashard Brooks, the Ahmaud Aubreys, the Breonna Taylors, the list goes on. This is just the more current incidences. I'm not even going back. Like, it's a list, like I said, that could wrap around this whole earth a few times of black, Hispanic, and Native Indians that have been wronged by these devils out here, these bastards out here, our oppressors, the goddamn white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of, the red dogs, I could go on with the list. It's just going to get a little more vulgar out there. Salakia. But he will not be satisfied with blood. Like, he wants you extinct, every black, Hispanic, and Native Indians extinct. He also wants your blood. He only wants your blood falling on this earth. That's how much he wants to get rid of you. He will not be satisfied till you are gone, a memory, gone, disintegrated. Why? Because of his perpetual hatred towards you. And understand, all throughout these scriptures, it tells you how these bastards are. So why would you want to be around them? Why don't you want to intermingle with them? This is what I don't understand with our people. When you out there and you in the street and you see interracial couples, that's why the Most High tells you to don't marry them. Don't part, because you're going to end up leaving, going astray away from the truth, away from the Most High. Because now you're going to start following their doctrines and their deities. And that's exactly what happens when you sit there and you marry these red dogs. But understand that they're the biggest opportunists out here. And I'm going to read that scripture again. That's a bombshell right there. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagined how to throw thee into a pit. He will weep with his eyes, but if he finds opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. Verse 17. If adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. And though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee. Understand that when you see these marchings and Black Lives Matters, and you see a lot of these protesters out there, they don't give a damn about you. There's an agenda behind that. Understand, they don't give a damn about Black lives. Black Lives Matter don't care about black people. Those white people out there protest don't give a damn about black people. Why? Because how many killings happened before that? Where's all the ruckus with Ahmaud Arbery? He passed not too long before George Floyd. Where's all the ruckus with the Rashad Brooks? Understand that they don't care. There's an agenda. They pretend to help thee. I'm going to read it again. If adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. The rallies that's going on, they're there first. Black Lives Matter, they marching, they doing all that kumbaya stuff. And though he pretends to help thee, they're acting like they there for us, yet he undermines thee. They don't give a damn. They destroying stuff, They like I said, they have a hidden agenda, And truth be told, I don't know, it's almost evident to try to destroy black neighborhoods, run it down, because it brings the value down. And then when every black neighborhood is destroyed, now they could come in and buy a property, and guess what? Like they do everywhere all across the U.S., run every black, Hispanic, and Native Indian out of our own communities. This is why we have to start building and supporting our communities. Understand that when you have black businesses out there, we need to support one another. Stop going to these commercial businesses and stop supporting them. Because what happens is when their money starts getting played with, they're going to want to listen. But all that marching, please, look, let me tell you something. ISUPK, every brother you see out here in ISUPK under Commander General Yohana, understand that every sister you see out here, ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana. If we're gonna die, we're gonna die an honorable death. But it just so happens that the Most High, when you come in here, the beautiful thing is He put a hedge, He put a protection around us here. That's the beautiful thing about being in this truth, is that the Most High protects us. He wants us to come back so He can put that hedge, that protection around us. But when you out there and you call yourself trying to intermingle with the enemy, understand the Most High don't like that, because that's showing hatred towards first Him, our King, Yahushua Mashiach, which I must remind you, died for us to give us another chance, so we could get another chance. And every brother, every black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, man, woman, and child out here, is self-hatred towards your people, your God, your power, your Savior, and your people. You hate yourself when you sit there and intermingle with them. Understand that we have to do better. Why? Because the Most High wants us to do better. How do you do that? By coming back to the Most High. Finding a school near you, getting on these online classes, help building these nations, paying your tithes, giving donations, and help building this nation up. And when I say support any black business, what you need, whether it's hair products, beauty, personal clothing, anything, food shops, you name it, tax, any kind of service that you see any black, Hispanic, or Native Indian have, support it. Support it. I don't care how small it is or whatever, you support it, because with the support of everybody, it's going to help flourish their establishment, which in turn would be better, where they'll be able to put more in different cities and expand. How do you think all these big corporations started? From one store and expanded when they got the support of people. Look, we are the biggest consumers. I'm going to sidebar for a second. We're the biggest consumers out here. Understand that every black, Hispanic, and Native Indian keeps this world going. Keeps our oppressor's kingdom going. Understand that we need to come together. Okay. Put aside what we believe for a second. But understand that if you see a black establishment, support it. Because the problem with our people is we'll be so quick to go run to every other heathen's store and support them. The same store that they're taking the money that they're making off of us, taking out of our community, and sending it back to their country, to their families, to their peoples. Not giving a damn about the community that they're making their money off of. We as a people have to stop that. How do you stop that? By not supporting them. Because eventually, if you don't support them, guess what happens? They have to close shop and they have to leave because they're not making money no more. Understand that even though we're being oppressed as a people, we control. The ball's actually in our court. Because as long as we don't support these heathens that's in our neighborhoods, they can't make a dime. They can't continue to make business. Why? Because nobody's supporting them. So what do? You support black. Coffee shop. Go to the last of the Mohicans, mommy and poppy stores for coffee. Hell, create your own coffee shop. A spot. We can do that. But understand that we got to come together as a people. And I'm talking about black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. We got to come together as a people and build communities back. create businesses so we can support one another, you know? But understand that as long as we still got black, Hispanic, and Native Indians that still have that slave mentality, that think that, oh, all white people is alright, white people is not bad, white people is not the problem, they're the problem. And you with that mentality is the problem, why our people is the problem. Because your love for them is destroying our people. And it's not just them, brothers and sisters out there, brothers out there hustling. You're destroying our people. Brothers killing one another over territory, drugs, etc. Gang-related stuff. You're the problem. Channel all that anger, channel all that frustration, channel that into something positive, like building your nation. And once again, how do you do that? Coming into ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana. Understand that. Understand that the time is now. You want to bust your guns? Do it the right way. Get legit. So whatever city you're in, you can walk around just like our oppressors could walk around in certain cities, you know, with their firearms. Do it legit where you can walk around. Be legit. Come into this truth, you know, and do it the right way. But don't walk around killing your brothers, killing your sisters. Why? Because, like the article I just read, now it's to the point where these damn devils don't have to pull a gun on us. They just call the police. That's their gun right there. That's their weapon. They don't have to squeeze the trigger. Why? Because they're the goddamn devil that the Bible speaks of. That's their weapon now. The PD department. Now I'm going to read verse 18. I know I sidebar Salakia for a second. Let me get back to that. It says, he will shake his head and clap his hands and whisper much and change his countenance. Understand that our oppressor, this damn, do not give two licks about any black, Hispanic, or Native Indian. They can say and act like they do, but they don't. And they never will. You know? But you know when they will? When authorities change. When we're in authority now. When we're in rulership. Oh man. Lord knows we pray for that day all the time. We pray that we make it in the first wave, you know? We sit there and understand that day come. Oh man, that's gonna be so sweet. But until that day, we have to do what the Lord tells us to do. Well, that day's coming soon where we're gonna be in rulership. It's coming soon. Understand that, you know, and understand who we're dealing with. I'm gonna get into Psalms 55 and 20. It says, excuse me. No, I read 20. It says, he had put forth his hands against such as to be at peace with him. He had broken his covenant, talking about Esau. In verse 21, he says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. Understand that they will talk. If they have an agenda, let me tell you something. The best actors out here on the face of this earth is this damn devil that the Bible speaks of, the so-called white man, this red bastard out there. Because they will put on, they know how to turn on and turn off. They're the biggest actors out there. Why? Because they're deceitful. Because that's in them. That's a character trait in them. They'll smile in your face and stab you in your back. Understand that. That's real. I'm going to go into Revelations 11 and 8. And understand that, you know, every move that they make is they calculating their steps, because they have to deal with us wisely. Why? Because if not, as dumb as they may think we are as a people, we see right through them. But they have to come cunning. Why? Because that's just them. They're slithery snakes. And their time is coming up. You know? Their time is about to end. You know? Understand that I'm going to go into Revelations 11 and 8. It says, and their dead bodies shall lie in the streets of the great city, which is called, which is spiritual Egypt, where also the Most High was crucified, where the Lord was crucified. Our Lord, our Savior, Yahushua Mashiach was crucified. Excuse me. Understand that America today, everything that's been going on, that happened in Sodom and Gomorrah, and in Egypt, that's why they interfused the two, because everything that happened in those two regions happening now as we speak, every day as at an all-time high. Or all the homosexuality, they got this Pride, what is it, month? They had this everything, you know. You look on TV, they got even these TV stations and everything supporting Pride Month and everything. You know, they drug dealers, there's whores, there's child molestation, pedophilia. Everything's at a high rate. The sinning is at a high rate. And understand that the Most High is going to oppose His will upon this earth, upon this kingdom. Understand that. That's why we as a people have to start getting it together, because the time is the window is getting real narrow, and you don't want to wait until you see that sky crack with our King Yahushua Mashiach and them 200 million angels. Understand that it's not going to be a pretty sight. It's not. And you want to be doing this work. You know, only the Most High knows, and the Most High does what He want to do. But understand that if you have an inkling of sense, you would want to be in this truth right now, doing this work, help building this nation. You know, putting your penny in. Understand that. Okay, I'm in Exodus 1 and 9. It said, hold on, excuse me. It says, now this was the Pharaoh speaking. It said, and he said unto his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we. Come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply. And it come to pass that when they falleth out any war, they join also unto our enemies, and fight against us, and so we get them up out of the land. Verse 11. And understand that that's how they look at us. Like, when you had the incident, like, I'm going to bring up Trayvon Martin, George Zimmerman. Trayvon Martin was like, I think, I might be off a year or two. He could have been like 15, 16. But he was beating the door crap out of George Zimmerman. He was working him to the point where Zimmerman had to pull out a firearm and shoot him. Because not only do they look at us more mightier than us, but we are more and mightier than them. So when they look at us as like a bunch of black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, incredible hulks walking around. You know? But they look at us and they have to deal wisely with us, because if they took us off, they scared of what's to come. Verse 11. Therefore, they did... Yeah, Salaki. Into internet issues. Okay, I'm going to read verse 11 again. Therefore, they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens. And they built for Pharaoh treasure cities, Pithom and Ramses. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew. And they were grieved because of the children of Israel. Understand that there was an old saying back in the days. They used to say, they used to call them Bebe's kids and everything. You know, they try to insinuate Bebe's kids, you know, we don't die, we multiply. Understand that we do. The Most High said for us to be fruitful and multiply. He said that to Ephraim, but truth be told, we as a nation, we make some babies. Understand, we make some beautiful babies at that. These other nations, I mean, I don't want to sound like I'm petty, but you see some of the babies that come out, they be having pictures of all these other nationalities having babies, and I'm like, God damn, you know? But one thing with every black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, we make beautiful babies, period. Because we're beautiful people. We are envied by all these other nationalities out here. Why? Because we don't have to put nothing into anything we do. Looks, sports, education, being innovative, anything. We don't have to put much effort, because we're the salt of the earth, because we're the Lord's people. He made us that way. You know? Let me get a couple more scriptures. Lamentations 4:18, because that has been going on and it's still going on now. Why? Because our oppressor, the white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of, hates us. Why? Because we was given the birthrights. We was given the covenant. You know? We was given the blessing. Jacob was given the blessing. Esau didn't. Esau forfeited his birthright. Why? For some red meat. Because he's greedy. He's a greedy dog. Still is. Okay? I'm going to go into Lamentations 4:18. It says, they hunt our steps, that we cannot go in our streets. Our end is near. Our days are fulfilled, for our end is come. Understand that we're getting closer and closer to this, because it's going to be a point where all this is going to stop. And like I said, the authorities is going to switch over. The kingdom is going to switch over. But before that, there's other prophecies that have to come in the past before all that. And understand that we cannot go on our streets. Why? Because when you look at it, it's limited to communities that we have that's our own, that's just black and Hispanic. There's still some out there, but every little bit of communities that we have, they're trying to gentrify it. They're trying to be in the midst of us. They're trying to be there and understand that they, just like they don't want us there, we should not want them there. But the thing is, our people are forgiving people. Our people are accepting people. And that's what got us in trouble the last before in the past. Being welcoming. We can't be like that. We have to prove a friendship. We have to prove they're worthy of being something called a friend. And history, time and time again, even up to now, proves that they cannot be trusted. We got to wake up. Black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man. We have to wake up and get it together. We got to get it together. They hunt our steps. We cannot hang out in our streets. We cannot hang out in our communities. Because we're going to get killed. We're going to get shot. We're going to get on for trying to enjoy life and stay out of the way of people. But when you have incidences like the article I read earlier about that Edomite calling the cops on those brothers, those black and Hispanic brothers that was just trying to take their boat out and go on the water, you having police called on you and lied on at that. That's been the whole history of Esau against Jacob, Understand that level of hate that he had for us is because we're the Lord's chosen. Why? Because in Matthew 15:5 and 13, and I'm going to end it on this one, it says, "Ye are the salt of the earth, but if the salt have lost its savior, wherewith shall it be? Salted, excuse me." We're the salt of the earth, and they don't like that. All these other nations don't like that, but especially the white man, the damn devil that the Bible speaks of, the red dog. He don't like that because he understands that his time is near, and he's about to go into captivity. He don't want that. He don't want to give up a good thing. Who does? You think we want to give up rulership and ruling this earth? But we had to. So guess what? Time is short. Time is dwindling down. It's going to be more and more events, chain of events that's going to happen. There's going to be more pestilence. There's going to be more killings. There's going to be more earthquakes, tsunamis, hurricane, you name it. The Most High is bringing his wrath. Understand that this is not over. This COVID-19 was just a little turn up. Understand that it's going to get worse before it gets better. Understand that the true nature of our oppressor, and when I say that, the white man is the goddamn devil the Bible speaks of. The true nature of our oppressor is the hatred towards every black, Hispanic, and Native Indian. That's my time, Israel. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shabrak Yahweh Shema Allah Thumb Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. That's my time. Shalom.